About 6 months ago, I attended a meeting here and I asked about what had happened to 5-acre zoning. And that was sort of spurred by a rumor I had heard about some high-density housing happening. And the answer that I got was sometime around mid-90s, 5-acre zoning was done away with, presumably for development, transferable development rights. I was also told that primarily for monies for farming and such, that to be able to get an equity loan against the farm, that it was better to have the land perhaps valued as more than 5-acre lots. I perused.
Just to interrupt you, that's interesting because my farm still zones 5-acre.
Is it?
Never been changed. It's been that way since long before I was around.
Well, in my
other properties. So that was one statement you said. You also said that the 5-acre zoning in West Vincent Township was eliminated.
And it's not been eliminated. It's quite frankly, if you look at the article, I mean, if you look at the current zoning ordinance, I can give you the exact article and page, but we have 5-acre zoning and have had 5-acre zoning. It's called Rural Conservation District zoning, which is page 49 through 62.
in this part, in this area? Or
Well, it's throughout the township. If you're talking about the Brinco-Ed parcels, the Brinco-Ed parcels have never had 5-acre zoning.
Well, let's get to that because he's asking about discussions on that too. But 5-acre zoning was not eliminated
No.
at any point.
No.
I'm not 1978, 1998. In 1998, the township completely redid its zoning ordinance. It did so, it still kept the maps the same, so that it's still called the districts R2, R3, and RC, but those designations, which used to mean that you needed 2 acres to build a house in R2, you needed 3 acres to build a house in R3, and you needed 5 acres to build a house in RC. After 1998, those were the designations of the zoning district, but they no longer had that meaning. The reality is, to determine what can be built on a piece of property, it's a very complicated calculation, which is essentially a TBR calculation to determine how many units can be built on a property. There is no minimum lot size, so that was done specifically to allow, particularly for larger subdivisions, the clustering and allow the subdivisions to meet the extensive open space requirements in the zoning ordinance. So